Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650E here, and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to continue our motorcycle versus series using two of my personal motorcycles. Today, we're going to put my 2013 BMW HP4 against my 2021 BMW M1000RR. I'm going to ride both bikes, tell you all about them, and at the end of the review, I'm going to pick one as my favorite. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell so you'll get notified when I upload new content. We're going to start the comparison video riding the 2013 BMW HP4. Mine was a standard BMW HP4, but I essentially turned it into the competition edition by adding lots of carbon fiber, levers, rear sets, and even those Rolobox Boost carbon fiber wheels make it even more special than the standard edition. So here it is. It's going to be a tough comparison between this and the M1000RR, but there's something about these analog gauges that I really like, you know? And the way this thing sounds when you fire it up, that blah 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 blah, it eventually settles down. And this is also a numbered motorcycle. This is number 1276. Yeah. And both motorcycles have their ECUs flashed by Bryn Tuning. So, should be a pretty fair comparison. Let's get rolling. Oh boy. I gotta do it again, because it's just fun jetting off on this thing. Well, it's time to give the HP4 a dance. Even though I have low fuel, 32 miles remaining, that's also very cool that it showed that the amount of fuel you had remaining way back when. Oh wow. So this bike has an auto gripper installed from our good friends at Alpha Racing. Back in 2013, it only had a quick shift. Woohoo! And the Alpha Racing quick shift auto grip actually improves on the stock one, so I highly recommend it. But the sound of this CT megaphone exhaust, really intoxicating. Woo-hoo! And there's something special about how this HP4, how the throttle response is. It's a lot different than the newer bikes. You feel more connected. The machine and the throttle, and the DDC suspension works great. But this thing, wow, this thing just sounds amazing. You can't hear it very much through the microphone, but it backfires and whatnot on diesel. That is outstanding. It'll be very tough to beat the exhilaration, the feel that you get from this motorcycle. I don't know. I'm excited to ride the M1000 back to back. But I'm telling you, I'm loving this thing. I love the fact that it has actual mirrors. They work great. They don't vibrate. They have a nice design and shape to them. And you can clearly see what's behind you. And if you want, when you're racing, you can fold them in to do your smackdowns. Get a little bit better aero. A lot of folks remove these things, but I love riding motorcycles with mirrors. But that just shows you the difference between this bike and the M1000. We have analog gauges, real mirrors. You know, the bike came with incandescent headlights. We put LED bulbs in them, but those are just some of the differences of how so so-called old school technology meets the new technology on the M1000RR, and it's just fantastic. You know, you might be in a position where you'll say, hey, I like all the old school stuff. I like a real tachometer with a needle and everything. I like, you know, real mirrors and whatnot. And if that's how you feel, then this bike is the one for you. But if you're a type of person that likes new technology, TFT gauges, LED lights, Rizoma stealth mirrors and whatnot, well, then that M1000 might be for you. But if you get to ride both bikes, wow, let's see the way that throttle feels. Can't put it into words, but it's just really great. Really dialed in, really nicely. That's thanks in part to the Brent Tuning ECU flash, but wow. And again, you're looking at a numbered motorcycle. 2 stages of heated grips. 7 stages of DTC, dynamic traction control. And you can even disable all of it, of course, if you so dare. This is a great bike. I'm excited to see what how the M1000 is going to stand up to this classic ferocious beast. And now it's time to ride the M1000RR. 2 totally different looking machines, but they still share some similarities, I guess. This being ultra modern. Oh boy, and then when you sit on them, they feel totally different. Wow. Okay. And the sound is different too. So it's time to give equal time to the M1000RR. And the first thing you'll notice, TFT gauges and Rizoma mirrors that are a lot different than stock mirrors on the HP4, and so are the instruments. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is all about how the motorcycles feel on these leaf-infested, filthy streets. And there is a huge difference between the 2 machines. Shift and auto grip on this bike are much improved, I will say that, even over the Alpha Racing aftermarket unit that's on the HP4. This is just quick and precise. No hesitation, no delay whatsoever. The fixed suspension is really nice on this bike. It seems like it's dialed in. Zach the master mechanic set it up to my size and weight, and I actually like it better than the DDC. Wow, this bike just as easy to ride, although you feel like you're sitting more on top of this bike rather than in the motorcycle like on the HP4. Big difference. I will say this, I'll tell you this right now, and you can probably tell from me riding both motorcycles, this bike just does not have the level of fun factor that the HP4 has, the level of raw intensity that the HP4 has. It's partially due to the throttle. This is ride-by-wire, so there's not as much as a connection between your soul and when you give it some gas and for when the motorcycle responds to that. It's hard to explain, but the HP4 just has that. It has that instant connection, that feel that you get, whereas this bike, it's not quite there. These TFT gauges, yes, they're bright, they're brilliant, they're anti-glare, but they're just not the same as pure analog gauges that are on the HP4 with the blue dial for the tachometer that lets you know when you're going crazy. You can physically see that, and it's different than when you see some some digital stuff here. The mirrors, these stealth mirrors, they're magnificent. You close them up and put them in the stealth configuration, and they look great. They act as little winglets. That's wonderful, but it's not the same as having a fixed mirror that you find on the HP4. There's just a lot of differences between these two bikes. I'm gonna have to think here about which bike I prefer. Get back to my private residence in the driveway and let you guys know which one of these bikes, in my opinion, is the absolute best. It's a very, very tough call. Very, very tough. They're both super brilliant machines. I mean, this one has cruise control, 3 levels of heated grips, caller ID with pictures, music with album art, turn-by-turn navigation on this beautiful TFT screen. That's wonderful. Obviously, the HP4 doesn't have any of that. But one would say, do you really need that? I mean, when I'm riding the HP4, I'm just happy to be riding the bike. I'm not looking for all those features I just mentioned. I'm looking for fun, and I get that immediately on the HP4. It's going to be a tough call, guys. It's going to be a tough call indeed. Decision time. Which one is it going to be? The amazing 2013 BMW HP4 or the all-new 2021 BMW M1000RR? This is a very, very, very tough call to make. I'm happy and I'm very fortunate that I own both motorcycles because I would hate to have to decide. If someone told me which one can you keep, it's a tough call. Very tough call. But at the end of the day, I'm going with the 2021 M1000RR. All of the technology the bike has, caller ID with pictures, turn-by-turn navigation, music, album art, all that cool stuff, tire pressure monitoring. It actually has a fuel gauge. Just, you know, you can't overlook that. It's amazing. This bike, this 2013 BMW HP4, was great when they made it 8 years ago, and it's phenomenal even today. This thing is just beautiful. I actually like the analog gauges, but overall, I got to give it to the M1000RR. Again, both these bikes are Brent tuned. They both have amazing exhaust systems, full titanium exhaust systems. They both have carbon wheels. The brakes on the M1000, by the way, they are better, of course, than the ones on the HP4. I mean, technology has improved. Those brakes are just amazing. So, my pick, the M1000RR, but you can't go wrong with either machine. Trust me, folks. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and ride these bikes some more. Now that I don't have to vlog about it, I can actually just sit back and enjoy these beautiful machines. Look at all the carbon fiber that's on the HP4, from the frame covers to every other piece that's on that bike. The M1000RR is going to get carbon frame covers and a few other pieces as well, but as it stands right now, it looks absolutely brilliant with this full belly pan with the Motul Million stickers. Just a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle. Those prototype blue bolts on both machines, a very, very awesome touch. Yeah, beautiful bikes, guys. Thanks so much for viewing my Versus series. I'm going to try to do some more of these videos with other bikes. I think next up will be the older generation RSV4 versus the new 2021 or 2022 RSV4. So stay tuned for that. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for viewing, guys. We'll catch you next time on the 650 EB YouTube channel. Beautiful machines.